You just met them 30 seconds ago. Their hand is still warm from the handshake, and now you're standing there, smiling, praying to every deity you don't believe in because their name has completely evaporated from your brain. Hey, buddy. You. Welcome to the encoding error, the real reason your brain treats names like disposable plasticware. And no, you're not broken. You're just human. Here's the crime scene. You meet someone at a party. They say, "Hi, I'm Marcus." You say, "Nice to meet you, Marcus." You feel confident, you've got this. Then the conversation flows. You talk about work, that weird documentary about competitive dog grooming, the traffic you both survived to get here. You laugh, you connect. 40 minutes later, someone joins your conversation and you turn to introduce Marcus, and your brain serves you a 404 error. Marcus is gone. Here's the brutal truth. You never actually learned his name. You just heard it, and hearing is not remembering. This isn't a memory problem. This is an encoding problem.
Let's get technical for a bit. I promise it'll explain your entire social anxiety. Your memory operates in 3 stages: encoding, storage, and retrieval. Most name forgetting happens at stage 1, encoding. When Marcus said his name, that information entered your working memory, your brain's temporary sticky note. Working memory can hold about 4 chunks of information for roughly 20 seconds. But here's the sabotage. While Marcus was telling you his name, your brain was already distracted. You were thinking, do I have something in my teeth? Is my handshake too sweaty? Why did I say pleased to meet you like I'm a Victorian ghost? This is called divided attention, and it's a memory killer. Research from the University of Sussex shows that when attention is divided during learning, encoding drops by up to 40%. You literally don't record the information properly. But wait, it gets worse. Names are arbitrary. They're pure sound with no inherent meaning. Marcus tells you nothing about Marcus. Compare this to Marcus is a firefighter who raises rare orchids. That information, your brain eats it up. It connects to existing knowledge, fire, danger, beauty, patience. It creates a semantic network. But Marcus, it's a floating soundbite with no hooks, no handholds, nothing to grab onto. This is the Baker-Baker paradox, discovered by researchers in the 1980s. Tell someone to remember that a man's name is Mr. Baker, and they'll likely forget. Tell them the man is a baker, he needs bread for a living, they'll remember. Same word, different encoding. Names lack semantic weight. They're the ultimate encoding challenge. But let's say you did encode Marcus properly. You repeated it, you focused, you were present. Why does it still vanish? Because of what happens next. The moment after learning a name, you enter conversation, and conversation is a memory overwrite protocol. Every new piece of information, where Marcus works, that he hates cilantro, his opinion on electric scooters, competes for the same limited neural real estate. This is proactive interference. New learning disrupts recent learning. Your brain is constantly rewriting its temporary files, and Marcus was never promoted to long-term storage. Here's the neuroscience. For information to move from working memory to long-term memory, it needs consolidation. This requires either 1. Deep emotional connection, 2. Deliberate rehearsal and association, or 3. Sleep. You probably didn't get any of those at the networking mixer, did you? Now we enter the doom loop. You forget Marcus's name, this creates social anxiety. The next time you meet someone, you're already worried about forgetting. This anxiety consumes working memory resources, ironically making you more likely to forget. It's like trying to save a document while your computer is at 2% battery and running 30 background apps. Plus, there's the next in line effect. When you're introduced to someone, you're often preparing what you'll say next. Your brain is rehearsing your own name, your own handshake, your own charming opener. You're not listening, you're performing. And performers make terrible students. Okay, enough trauma. Let's fix this. Here are 5 evidence-based techniques to hack your encoding system. Technique 1. The meaning maker. Force semantic connection immediately. Marcus, like Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king. Picture Marcus wearing Roman armor giving you stoic wisdom between sips of his IPA. Or Marcus equals Mars, the red planet. Picture his face on the surface of Mars waving at the rover. The weirder, the better. Your brain loves bizarre. Technique 2. The visual anchor. Create a visual feature hook. Marcus has a scar above his eyebrow? That's now the M in Marcus. Mentally draw it. Marcus has glasses? Those are the two C's. You're not being rude, you're being strategic. This is called the face name association method, and studies show it improves recall by 80%. Technique 3, the immediate use. Use the name within 10 seconds. Not robotic, natural. So, Marcus, how do you know the host? That's fascinating, Marcus. How long have you been doing that? Marcus, I have to ask. Each usage is a save command for your brain. Technique 4, the written record. Excuse yourself, bathroom, notes app, write it down with context. Marcus, orchids, hates cilantro, works in finance. The act of writing engages multiple encoding channels. Auditory, you heard it. Motor, you wrote it. Visual, you see it. Triple encoding. Finally, the mindful reset. Before entering social situations, do a 2-minute breathing exercise. Clear working memory. Make room for new information. Anxiety is the enemy of encoding. Calm is its nemesis.
Here's what all this means. Forgetting names isn't a character flaw. It's a system limitation combined with bad circumstances. You're asking your brain to capture arbitrary sound data while managing social performance anxiety, environmental distractions, and conversational multitasking. It's like trying to photograph a hummingbird during an earthquake while riding a unicycle. But now you know the system. You know that encoding requires attention, meaning, and repetition. You know that names are fragile because they're semantically empty. And you know that with 5 simple techniques, you can become someone who remembers.
Not because you have a better brain, because you have a better strategy. So the next time you meet a Marcus or a Sarah or a Deperkashaw, you'll know exactly what to do. Create the mental image, use the name immediately, write it down, breathe. And when you see them again and you actually remember, that's not just good memory, that's good humanity. People feel seen when you remember their name. It's a micro-magic that builds trust, opens doors, and makes the world slightly less lonely. Drop your most embarrassing name forgetting story in the comments. I read every single one. And hey, if this helped you understand your brain a little better, hit that subscribe button. We decode the mind every week. Stay curious, stay kind, and for the love of all that is holy, write it down.